Hello, true art believers. This is drawing with Pearson today, or actually not today, but now. Now I'm drawing Jim Morrison. This is session 4, part 1, and I do this because I normally would draw for an hour, but at this given point of time, I can only do 30-minute bouts before things kind of go out of whack. So I'm trying to do 30-minute bouts to so that I can keep up with my schedule and life, essentially. So it's developing pretty good. I think I'm about ready to. What am I about ready? I'm about ready to start using charcoal pencil. I've been using Vine charcoal, so I've been using this stuff, this like extra soft Vine charcoal. It might be soft, I don't know. It feels like it's extra soft. And then probably around halfway probably the next session, or maybe even around 15 minutes in, I'm going to start drawing using this, a regular pencil. No, charcoal pencil. This is, I think this is extra soft. I need to go and get, I need to pull out my medium because it's a little lighter, and I'll need to be, yeah, I think this is medium. And once I do that, I'll be able to work on it a little bit more. So I'm just basically, I think last night I worked on this, and I realized that this right eye was kind of off, and I'm going to tweak it, so I'm sorry about that. So mainly my main tools that I use is a kneaded eraser and one of these click erasers for nice fine work, although I can get most of it done with kneaded eraser, and charcoal and Vine charcoal. And I believe the main method that I use is called reductive drawing. And I like it because it's way more forgiving than standard drawing, and I can get away with a lot more, and I don't have to be as detailed because the paper is already toned, and because it's already toned, I'm kind of worried because my hands are kind of wet, so I gotta wait till they dry a little bit. But so now I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think from far away, this right eye has been bothering me with regards to the drawing, so I think I need to shift it slightly up, or it might not even be the shifting that I have to deal with. I think if I think about it, or if I mess around, it might just mean that I have to kind of take away part of the show more of the white area of the eye. I don't know the anatomy of it, but my goal is to show more of that white area, and I think that might do the shifting for me. And then I'll have to change I'll have to tweak the area right here and add a little bit of an eyelid. Now the photos that I use, they're not that good quality, and I keep reiterating this because it drives me bananas. There's not good light to dark value ranges happening in these photos that I find, and I guess that's just the thing that rock bands and pop artists do nowadays, or did back in the time when they were doing those photos, is they had high contrast but no strong highlights, mid-tone, and dark scale, which makes it very hard to have transitional value. And so I have to make up parts of the face that I don't know. Like this whole side of his nose, you can't see it. It's just our eyes and our brain magically connect the dots. And it's difficult to draw stuff that isn't there. And so that's what I tend to do, is I tend to draw stuff on a photo that really isn't there. So like this bridge of his nose, the side plane of his nose and the bridge aren't really there. This whole left side really is not there. There really isn't value happening here, and I don't know if I'm going to really add any value at the moment. I know I've been talking about this. I really need to get to drawing, to be honest with you, because I have a very limited time frame, and all I've done was address the eye. So I'm going to try to narrate what I'm doing, I guess, so that you get an idea what I'm drawing, thinking about. not quite sure on the. I've been playing around with the right side a lot, and playing around with getting this eye symmetrical to the other side, and it's taken it's kind of unnerving. I think the last few sessions prior to this is I was really trying to get the nose in there, and I think I got the nose in a place that I like right now. But now I got to start defining the eyes, because really with this image of Jim Morrison here is the eyes is really a strong component, and probably basically the whole expression of like just like this empty, like, I don't know the emotion, but there's definitely some emotion there. It's a little too intense. And I'm trying to capture it, but I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to copy it verbatim. And another thing about drawing and reductive is it's really interesting is I'm not doing, there's not a lot of detail happening here, but in the video right here that you can see, it looks pretty representational, pretty clean. But in person or from afar, in person it's not, it's pretty suggestive, all the forms and all the highlights and tones. I really haven't done a lot to define these forms. I've only kind of darkened things with Vine charcoal. And some of the things I try to do when I'm drawing is I try to draw as long as I can as possible with Vine phone call. The only time I get phone calls, more phone calls doing live than I ever get ever. So I can only do live videos through my phone because, well, everyone does it. But I probably need to put like, what is it called? It's called something, silent mode, airplane mode, or don't take calls. Yeah, but I don't think that far ahead. I probably should. But really, it's kind of funny. Like, I rarely receive calls, and yet the times I get calls is, lo and behold, when I'm doing something really important or something that I don't want to be disturbed. Sometimes I don't want to be disturbed. It's really interesting how that happens. Like, you know, how life kind of works in that fashion. And yeah, I'm trying to sneak in 30-minute bouts here and there because I got a brand new kid, and she's a handful. And so I try my best to sneak in time, drawing time. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Yep. So that's what I'm doing, sneaking in my 30 minutes. And then hopefully I want to get an hour on this, and then I'm going to work an hour on my other painting. I wanted to do an hour, 10 hours on this one painting, but the more I think about it, I don't think it needs 10 hours worth of work. It probably needs at most 5 to 7. And maybe even after the 5 hours, it's just going to be kind of like I'm just BSing in a sense. I'm just adding stuff just to add stuff. It's not going to make it any better. I kind of know that that's going to happen when I work on it later on today. But hopefully, I don't want to spend 10 more hours on the painting, to be honest with you. I'm just I'm at this point where I started a bunch of paintings and I'm working on them throughout. I even have a large painting behind this piece right here. Maybe you can see it. Oh, I can't move it. I'll show you. Sneak peek. So I have a large painting behind this, and I've been working on that forever, and I'm getting tired of it. It's just one of those things, like, I've been like analysis paralysis with my larger, more important paintings, and it's getting to the point that I just need to bite the bullet and work on them. We're talking, I've had that piece behind this board for a couple years, and it's not that I haven't. It's probably the reason why I haven't finished it is because life happens, and I can't devote the time that is necessary for them. You know, I'm trying to do multiple things, It's very hard to do large paintings, and for large paintings I need more than an hour. I need like 2 hours to kind of really get momentum. But the smaller paintings, there's not as much a big a problem. I guess maybe the big, I don't know, maybe the issue is I have so many drawings and pieces that I'm working on that I can't partition my time accordingly. And mainly, I think the reason why I don't work on it as often is because I'm afraid I know how long it's going to take to do, or actually I don't know. No, it's not that. It's the fact that I don't know how long it's going to take. So I work on it, but I don't work on it seriously because it could take. Basically, I'm stuttering here, because I'm trying to think of of why I'm not working on it, and maybe subconsciously I don't want to finish it, or maybe I don't want to devote all my time to it because then I won't make any work. And if I'm not making any work, time it. Oh wow. Yeah, I need to start working on this. Looks like I'm gonna try to cut it off at 15 minutes this time. I gotta get going. Not that I don't want to keep drawing, but I do gotta tend to some matters of life. So I'm gonna give it a minute and a half. Well, anyways, I'm about done for a brief moment. I'll be back later. I gotta stop. I got things. I got something I gotta attend to. In about 30 seconds, I'm gonna stop. Um, Please, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, follow, share, etc. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Matt Pearson Art. You can also visit my website at mattpearsonart.com. where I will soon have drawings up there, and I have various pieces of burgers, I guess. I'll be back.